Salve discipuli and salve omnes. Welcome again to another episode of Latin in Layman's, where I want to talk to my audience for a little bit before we actually get into some words, because I just released a video, and what was not really conducted a lot in the comment section was the aspect of maybe being a little bit more perceptive. So I don't mean to throw some shade, but I think it's a good way to also etymologize a word and understand that we can all be a little bit more aware of the content that we actually consume. If you haven't already, go on over to Latin and Layman's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you might find me, because I do this in a longer format. I have not released one today. I plan on maybe doing one tomorrow, but I've been doing a lot of errands for today and everything like that. Stay tuned. I'm going to try and take as many pictures and stuff like that at my party tonight because all you guys have been wanting to ask and get mad at me that I've been posting my Halloween costume. Come on, you guys, I'm trying. All right. Just like I honestly, like when I was around, like filming during my brother's wedding and everything like that. And I don't do that kind of stuff. Like when I'm in events, I'm really like, I'm the person that I don't like to be on my phone. I really am bad about taking pictures because I just kind of get into the actual event. That's just who I am. I don't want to live my life on my phone, and I never will. Like I've always said, I will never put stock in my TikTok. I've been doing this ever since day one, and I will continue to do it the way that I've done it. That being said, and with my little idiosyncrasy, let's talk about that prior video real quickly because that was my bro. Because also, it was an entirely new environment and situation. I was hoping that maybe we could have a little bit of fun with it because I watched that video and he sent it to me. I have never laughed so hard just straight through a video. I was laughing my butt off. At first, I was like, "Oh, am I going to post this?" Because of like, you know, maybe admin might be like, "Meh," but who cares? I love my brother and I support my brother, and I think I'm gonna try at some point. As you guys can see, I do these all in one take. I'm doing this in one take. I'm not gonna be doing the editing. I don't really care. All right, I just do this TikTok thing. I realized that this whole like TikTok fame, it's not fame, all right, you guys. It's just getting some followers, all right? Because at the end of the day, what it's showing me when people just show up and they can't even actually understand when I post videos like that whatever's going on, it's like they're not even like watching the video. That's why I talk about all the time that here I am on this TikTok combating the whole flippity flip scrolling thing. You know what? I'm not about the whole like constant stimulus in your face. That's why I do longer videos and I make it so that that be the case. I'm trying to combat this whole thing, and if you want to be a part of it, I would love for you to be, because I want to think for myself. I want to be perceptive. I want to be inquisitive. I want to learn. I want to grow in this world. And I want to understand that I can always know and learn more. So, that being said, I hope this may reach an audience that could take a step back and be like, you know what? I think there's sometimes when I could show up a little bit more in this world and be present rather than always being tied to this, because we are cyborgs. And I try, this thing here is just, you know what? It's going to be a part of our lives forever. But that being said, it doesn't have to rule our lives. Technology can be there to amplify our life, not to rule it. These are the things in our world that help make our world. They don't have to rule our world, though. We rule our worlds, all right? Be the main character of your video game. Don't be the NPC and let this be your main character of your video game. I don't know. Maybe I'm just going one off and everybody's going to tell me I'm a boomer because people have told me that before in the past, or they're going to say that I'm an old soul and that I need to shut up. And you know what? If that's the case, I don't, you know what? You don't have to be here anymore. Sorry, not sorry. I think we can all treat the world with a little bit more perception, because then we enjoy it more and we see the beauty around us. So, with that being said, per is a Latin preposition meaning through. It takes on the accusative because we have dynamic prepositions, accusative prepositions, and then we have static prepositions, aka ablative, right? Aka con and or cum. But before we get there, through, kept comes from capio, capere, cepi, ceptum in Latin. Those are the four principal parts, which means to seize, to take, or to capture. Really, when you are perceptive, you are exhibiting a seizing through, essentially taking through. When you are perceptive, you are taking through the entire surroundings that you have around you, and you understand. You're aware. Aware actually comes from the Old English, so I wasn't going to do that one. But featuring my little glary portion here, and then concept here. But actually, I'm so sorry, making me think about my brother right now, when I'm always like, but before. Receptive, re meaning backhand or again, kept again meaning to take. When you are receptive, you are taking back whatever somebody has probably told you, right? You're being receptive and you're taking it back and you're thinking about it, contemplating it, because it could be a concept that you've been mulling over in your head. Con meaning together and or with, kept meaning to seize and or take. A concept is just something that is taken together. Those are a set of concepts all comprise maybe a theory or a study or a discipline or I don't know, a topic. These are physiological terms. Proprioception. Proprio means one's own in Latin. Ception coming from the ceptum, meaning to take and or to seize. To seize one's own, and in this case, awareness of one's body. This is the awareness of your body in space through time and understanding. A lot of bodybuilders are really good at this. They are able to propriocept and isolate a certain muscle and be able to understand and engage that one muscle as they're working out. That is called proprioception. That's like if I really want to flexing my bicep in a lat pull down, then I'm going to really focus on pulling, and not with my elbows, but more so with probably my wrists and my forearms and my actual biceps rather than my back, right? That's about being proprioceptive versus enteroception. Enteron in the Greek means gut or tummy, stomach, ception to take and or seize. Interoception is the feeling that we have within our gut, right? When maybe like, hey, you drink a lot of water, you start jumping around, you feel the water sloshing around in your stomach. Maybe you got a stomach ache. That's also a form of interoception. So these are all ways in which we can take seize and hold of our environment and our world right now. And there are so many other words that we could get into that I'm not going to get into because I have not nearly as big a whiteboard here as I do at school. But I love you guys. I just want you guys to understand that there's a way in which we can show up in this world and we can show up a little bit better. And with that being said, tempus est discedere.